Well, that might explain why streamer mode was off. I don't have any alarms for that. I guess that's what the dialogue box that disappeared was? Um, yeah, I had GIMP open last time OBS crashed. I don't know what else I've done. That might have, like, changed the environment. I guess I'm gonna have to start figuring out how to get crash logs. Well, that was extremely frustrating. Okay. We're doing output cleanup. And over time, I've been kind of forgetting where all of my output is. It all made sense at the time. Okay, excluded, resume. That's all from here. Final. Read write logfile.path. Okay, what are we reading? Base span. That gets covered by resume, read write. And then map process. I feel like something's doing print log file. No, that was the log file name and that was the span. And there's something here. In span. What are you? It's a pair of numbers. It looks like some sort of time range. It happens. Let's see, that is logfile.path. New tile placement log.read. Somewhere we're doing Log file name, read back this. That's the read. We're reading a log. We're doing something. And then we're hitting resume? Oh, that's from the initial scan through to get the range. So maybe that's like a map log. Or an arc to measure the, yeah, okay, start end. This is every time we allocate an arc here. Or a period. Isn't super interesting to me right now? All right, where does that leave us? Okay, that's just a bug fix. Now, I have a method to read a tile, which depends on the output path of this object, the file system of this object, which should be shared by output map log. Got a very similar system. It just does different stuff. That unfortunately kind of makes it a dependent object. Or a relationship between them, because I certainly don't want I guess I could at least make a static method for it. I could outright pass the, well, we need dir twice. Oh, your output paths are going to be, your placement path and your maplog path. So in order to do resumption, maplog actually Yeah, that's saying load from some kind of state. Should I allow that to be nil? All right, and you get a final placements so that you can do that stuff. Smaller example should be fine here. I'm going to want to clear my output. Cool. Right, final placements did what? Oh, manage span. So you can actually look that information up. I want you to expose a higher level method here. And does output map log currently have, yes, that disabled? So I might need, so something that says, give me my base span, and really it kind of comes down to, give me my base tiled, which we only use that once. Given a base file and a current log file. All right, so this will be a convenient place to do this just for screen locality right now. We only call this with both. I guess there could be no candidate last here. but we don't actually need to have that be a thing. File, base file. All right, and then map log, which now has a final placements. Output map log. Let's do some naming here. So base. Could maybe see this operating without data if you just wanted to get some stuff out. Okay, we went to a small example of multiple files. Wrong number of arguments. I changed the call, but not the function. No. Not your final. I did. Oh, you don't have the reads and writes. Hmm? Oh, that was our first resume. Oh. Because you took on the load. So what the heck? All right, these are all the different zoom levels. I could probably use some better right lines on that blog stuff. And then that resumes every time. Why didn't you get a progress bar? And I think I may have had a print zoom somewhere, which I mean, there's still like we're working on zoom. Hmm. Oh, that might be an outer loop. Right, yeah, do type. Okay. Why don't we get a progress bar when we read 742? I did change some things. Well, there's a read. Now, that's the one. You could have got final placement. Now, this stuff has been done on this run, so we don't actually have to do it. I'm gonna probably turn down my zoom levels for filling purposes as well. Yeah, it's saying read and resume is not getting anything, though. All right, just for speed of testing. Oh, that looked like a read. Oh. This requires a little bit of... Oh, this isn't going to be quite so simple. I might have to edit this to remove... Where does zoom come in? Well, it's in right tiles. Yeah, that comes down to min size when we process things. Which kind of means I have to go through everything in the resume set. Well, no, because that's just the map state. Placements. Yeah, and I see I'm treating not size as 0, not as. Another issue. We're using the same information. Yeah, placements is only going to be affected by the news. That does affect our previous. Also kind of a. Hmm. Yeah, there's some other issues about later. Min size. Only affect the thing we are placing in the new data. So at 24, we read and we actually get something. Okay. 25, we read and we get something. Maybe I was just reading. Like maybe my resume from in what order. Okay, read, write, read, write, read, write. Now, was actually excluding, also updating final placements during this. And that final set, or final resume set is going to be just these. All right. Yeah, there's the overdraw issue. Oh, all right. I don't think I want to handle anything big right now. Because this is like a big data format. We'll need to keep track of when each tile was sort of last touched to decide when we should stop bringing it forward. Another option would be to sort of give every tile its own index of where it has data. So it's like every tile is its own little mini movie. Uh, Now, potentially that could mean we'd want different time breaks for every tile, which is not really what we're set up for. Now, I might have been counting on this for like object 0 and other weird cases. Yeah. Oh, but we only counted as excluded if there was a size. Being like, then we exclude. But we also well, no, then it's just we write a 0. Wait, log.object log.id. Right. Because it can have the uses and so if it's an unknown object, we just have to the too small object we write it as 0. Uh, yeah, so this would cause us to not write unnecessary zeros. But when it comes to natural objects, we're going to need those. So I'm not even sure I can do this kind of logic. This makes sense that we essentially treat a small object as a nothing. You know, I don't want to deal with this right now. I want to have fully working logs or fully working output format. So I can do this and look at it. And I might have to do that for compression style stuff too, because I don't think. Well, yeah, the map doesn't support base times right now or spans. But I might need some kind of strategy to deal with expiring tiles. Because right now, unless there's a seed reset, we're going to go on forever and ever and ever. Well, okay, there are a few small things where we can try to get out of ahead of the games. Oh, this is actually. Hmm. This I would have actually expected to be something I saw. I looked at Discord. Maybe the updater wasn't working? Hmm. Which any file was this? Yeah. Very special biome. Yeah, we're scrolled over. Pfft. Oh, it was just a rename, so I don't have the. Okay. Okay, biome seed logged a separate file. That's a thing we're gonna have to do. 64-bit seed is also a thing we have to do. But this doesn't affect, well, it changes the map log format. We're never gonna see those. So it is gonna be time underscore, so I think we're okay there. I do, however, do a blind match on that. So I'm probably going to need to do some, well, and I'm doing a lot of my test selection by seed. Going to have to dummy that up a little bit. Well, in order to be able to test it. And this is where things could actually break down interim. And dummy time. That could do that at a trailing digit. No, I don't actually have any of these typed in as far as the number of characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's probably a better Vim way I could have done that. Undefined method for nil class. Exactly what we expected. Yeah, there's more stuff I want to do with these files. I might have to sort of interim thing here. And log server, you can have the exact same code. There's probably some room to have some common files here. Oh, I must have had a scatter shot of timestamp? Other than all the zoom levels of it. Yeah, maybe it had a really wide timestamp range. Which is suggesting that maybe I really should base it on number of entries rather than time represented. Because really it is file size that I'm All right, we shouldn't need that very often. Where did I leave you? Separate file. Now, I think this might be put into the same folder. It's map change logs, map seed. Oh. Between map log and map seed. So I might have to do some additional matching there. So we think it will just be zero, zero, or, whatever. So many options. All right, I set that a file, not a. There's no space here. Map seed, map log would make sense. Don't know if it's going to have a carriage return in it. Now, does anything in here match on map log? Next unless path map log. um. Hmm. Hmm. I need to process those, but I need to process them differently. Prox log time within date server timestamp. Doesn't merge with anything. Doesn't so much open as return a two-part seed. Oh, actually, I probably need to start making preparations and things for two-part seed. Bands and arcs. That does affect my data structures. That might also make this more than we can do quickly. That's just notes right now. Because everything that processes log files Chew actually does that. Okay, so this is actually a top level thing. So you can go through log file and kind of switch off based on what kind of file it is. Or I could have two different top level objects. I've gotten each map log, each seed, but they should generally sort in time order, and that's probably about the order we want. Unless, like, the map log starts 1 second before. And so one of the things that gives me pause in this is that, like, the seed files, well, they're gonna have a little bit of the same things. Uh, hmm. They're probably simple enough you could do reading there. It's gonna be the same. Actually, I mean, all of this is kind of still valid. Except that if you call seed on, that was normally not a big deal. But for a seed log file, that would actually involve opening and reading it. And then, like, do we want to separate log files from seed files as a type? She's probably not even v-split. Is diff a command? It doesn't recognize it as a thing, it does a buffer. Oh, lovely. There's vim diff. Diff split. Oh, but that's gonna, we have to do like vert diff split. Okay, extract path list. Okay, so you've got the next. So it's actually, it's not, oh no, it is sort of diffing that. It just presented weird. No, it's goofed. These are actually more equivalent. The indentation's throwing it off. You get past the date. This one probably confers the date. Yeah. But that's an awful lot of very similar code. So probably I need to have some kind of generic log file with the common bits, or like cache file. The rest of it's a little bit more different. We end up doing some pretty similar things. They differ in open, they differ in date. Of the addressing instruction. Yeah, the rest of this is really badly duplicated. uh, right, so it's, well, I guess I could, Vim doesn't like having multiple things open the same file. Oh, we know it's the init method, we know it's the members. All path URL, date, open. It must have. Oh, did that skip a similar section? It almost didn't feel like there was that much there. Still, these aren't as bad. Hmm. It's not even really a map log file, and it kind of is. Map file? I mean, you probably aren't really a child of anything. The only thing that these have in common is the path. And Uh, so it's that. A log file. Type rename. You almost don't even need an initialize. And it could be a setup for some other stuff. Hey, Wolfenscar. Good one. Let's see, so that's specific to this. Date is specific to this. Open is specific to this. And file path is really there because it's used with open. And I guess it's also used with date in this case. Log server. Path. URL specific. Temp cache valid. You got your cache thing going on. All right, so that just abstracts to the common code. We're in some kind of minimal case right now. All right, so that was fine. I don't have a one at the there's the map logs on the server. There is output to local file system. Server. Although you might need a parameter. Servers each block. Initialize. Okay, they got a default base URL. It's fairly reasonable. Looks like I'm printing the path name and that thing is doing some printing, but okay. So that appears to be that little bit of surgery went okay. Do I have a note for that? Not particularly. Nope. That process doesn't usually use that. Consolidate map log file code. Now, do I want to treat seeds as a different kind of file? I guess if you asked them for their seed, they would read their contents. We have previously treated reading the seed as kind of a free operation. Okay, so if arc loads the log, I guess the remote file could do the caching thing. Merges with asks for the seed, and then when we load that, we ask. Maybe I do have some kind of separate file for that. Those won't need any of the old exceptions. That will be shared code. We got a 2x2 of the local or remote, and it can be an app log or a seed file. Maybe. Let's see. So there's actually nothing that's specific to a log file, unless I like built in the whole reading a log thing into the file abstraction itself. I guess the other option is that I treat reading a seed in the same way I treat reading a log, and that's the operation on the contents, so we're not dealing with that. That would be inconvenient for current code. Well, load log. Yeah, won't get a whole lot of time information. Should only get called on true log files once we actually do that. Merges with actually is one thing that's only valid for straight up log files. And maybe we could pass around seeds separately. Also, I have already created an object called maplog. So we have a file that is maplog and a file that is mapseed. So those are then become inconvenient names. Now, maybe I should call that placement instead of maplog. Although arcstart isn't really a placement. Oh, and placement is the type of the specific thing that we have within a maplog file. So yeah, the names all kind of run together. All right, well, this could turn into an early bit of stuff. So yeah, okay, so seed files probably actually up a little bit. That was actually part of my last thing, so I'm just going to swap those. Oop. And then I'm going to have to call it there in order to get on to, well, eventually lunch, but I should probably do some moving around. So I'm going to switch over to Stepmania. I'm going to that is that one. So thanks for watching the programming stream. I am going to do a quick stream drop just because it's a very different thing and I kind of want the videos to get indexed separately. And then I will be back in a minute or two, and then it'll take a few more minutes to set all the Stepmania stuff up. This is the one I'm usually on. So programming still sometime around now. I should probably be cutting off sooner for the sake of Stepmania, but so it goes. If you want to hang around for that, great. If you were here for programming, thanks for stopping by. Maybe I'll see you next time, and I'll be back in a little bit.